Hi, it is day 15, and today was supposed to be a Facebook Live. I acknowledge that, and I'm not doing it. I looked at the time, it's like 8 o'clock. I'm still coughing a lot. That sounded fake, but it was not. And those are both excuses. Those are absolute 100% excuses for me not doing my Facebook Live, and I will do it. It will either be this weekend or Monday. I would like it to be at a time where somebody might pop on so I can practice like the whole engaging with people. But anyway, enough of that. I'm just being truthful about the fact that I put off doing the Facebook Live. Today, actually, I wanted to share this poem with you. And I saw this a few weeks ago, and then my coach read it to us last week, and then I found it in this book, which actually she probably got it from the same book. But I love synchronicity, as you know. And so I wanted to read it to you. It's from this book called Prison Break. And no, it was not in my pile of books that I shared with you the other day. So just keep that pile going. But I love this book because it's called Prison Break, Vanquish the Victim, Own Your Obstacles, and Lead Your Life. And I love anything having to do with victim versus owner, victim versus creator, creating the impossible. That is what I do. That is what I help my clients do, is create what they believe is impossible. And that's what I'm doing. I'm creating the impossible. I certainly didn't think that this life was possible years ago. And so I love anything having to do with that. And so those books I have my pile, I'm reading them, and I just got really excited about this book because it's so in line with what I love so much and what I'm so passionate about. And I really just loved this poem, especially since it did show up 3 times in my life in the past couple of weeks. So I'm going to read it to you, and then we'll talk. Okay. So today was that was a terrible way to start a poem. Let me start over. Okay. Today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day. Because when you take a closer look, this world is a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last. And it's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be attained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good exists. I'm sure you can agree that the reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control. And you'll never in a million years hear me say, today was a very good day. So it was a pretty bad reading of a poem. And so maybe my point's not going to get across very clearly, but it's sad and it's pretty depressing, and it definitely has it's an outside in view. It's that our circumstances create our happiness and affect our inner selves. And when I talk about being a creator versus a victim, that's a very victim mentality. That's being a victim to your circumstances. And it's not to say that there aren't real things out there that do affect us, but it's all in our perspective and how we handle it and how we own it and how we create our lives. And so I just wanted to read the poem to you again with a slight shift in perception, and then see what you think. Today was a very good day, and you'll never in a million years hear me say, it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists, only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be attained because it's all in the mind and heart. And it's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while, even if this world is a pretty evil place. Because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day ever. I think it's kind of funny that I was able to read through that better. That was a much better poem reading. I don't know if you noticed what I did there. The difference was I just read it backwards. I read it from bottom line to the top. Same poem. This was a poem written by a teenage girl, a very intuitive teenage girl, Cheney Gorkin. And that poem is an inward-outward view on life. It's being an owner, it's being a creator, it's realizing that our attitudes and that how we are, who we are being, affects the outside circumstances. And yes, there are still going to be shitty, crappy things that happen out in the world, but it's about who we're being. And that's going to change our outside world. And anytime we're making change or growth, a lot of times it can be really easy to go the path of, oh, if I fix this out there and I have more money and I do all these things and I change my outside circumstances, I move. I'm classic. I always want to move. I want to leave California, move to Portland. Like that's me trying to change the outside circumstances and not working on what's going on the inside. So, like we may want to leave a really crappy job, and all of these things there's truth to all of that, but we're just going to keep repeating the same thing if we don't work on what's going on inside of us and we don't change our attitudes and take ownership for everything in our lives and who we are being. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to, this is such a big topic, and it's gonna show up a lot, and I'll articulate it more clearly in some future videos because it comes in to play in so many different ways. And who am I being? I'm being a girl that coughs a lot. My point is, it was a slight shift in perception. It didn't take much. It didn't take digging into our past. It didn't take anything deep at all. It was just a slight shift. I just read that poem backwards and it's a totally different outcome. So I'm really excited to explore that further as we go further into these videos over the next couple months in different ways. It's literally one of my favorite things to talk about. And I just, creator versus victim, owner versus victim. Like when you start to understand that, your whole world's going to change. So if you have any thoughts, I'm sorry again for coughing so much, but I would love to know what your thoughts. I'm sorry that I did such a crappy job of reading the poem the first time. I think it's kind of funny that happened, that I couldn't read it very well. Anyway, so I'm rambling. This is a rambling video. It's Friday. Facebook Live's coming up soon, I promise. And so bad today. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.